Okay, let's start optimizing naming attribute for your robot. I'm going to use the robot that I downloaded from the CG trailer, but if you have your own one, feel free to go with it. Let's create the GeoNode and import your 3D model. And like first of all, what you have to do is to check the primitive attribute or point attribute, and you need to see what your model has on it. On my model, if you look at the attribute here, it has the naming attribute, and yeah, like each like big parts are named as like left, right, and body, head, blah blah blah, and then like there is a like there's a number based on the pieces, I guess, but we need to make this naming convention. We need to make it more like useful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this name to from this to something like, so like we need to have like character name, and then big parts name, and then middle parts name, and then small parts name, and then maybe shake, something like that. So we need to make sure to have all of them on every pieces, like character name, main character name, and big parts name, middle parts name, small parts name. Okay, so let's get it started. Okay, let's start applying good naming convention for left arm and right arm for our robot. So we need to split those two big parts first. But before doing that, let's move this guy onto the center and adjust the scale a little bit. So move this guy to center and adjust the scale. If you want to see, if you want to, if you want to see the actual scale, you just need to create the human model. This geometry, maybe this guy. Yeah, I guess this robot should be like 15 or 20 meters high. So yeah, this is the best size, I guess. And after that, I think we are not going to use the color attribute, and also we are not going to use this FBX attribute, so we can blend them. Good. Now the robot has the normal and UV attribute on the vertex, and then it also has the name attribute on primitive. Okay, next we need to separate these arms. We need to extract these arms from our robot. So what we are going to before doing that, as I said before, we are going to make naming convention like, main robot name, and then big parts name, middle parts name, small parts name, and like every pieces should start from this character name. So let's make a attribute called like character name to every pieces. If you look at this file name, this guy is called how is called the Lilos. So yeah, let's make character name as Lilos. So yeah, create character name and make sure to change class to primitive, not point, but primitive, and then set type to string, and the name, the attribute name is character name, and then string should be Lidos. And now we have like the Lidos on all pieces. Okay, let's separate right and left arms from the robot. I'm just going to use the split node, and fortunately, like we have name attribute, also material attribute based on big parts. So we are going to use those attributes to separate pieces. So here, I just extracted the left arm based on the SOP, the material path. So like everything named with everything named with armlet on their SOP material path is extracted. So left side output is like this, and the right side is rest of the body. Good. And then name this guy maybe left. The others here, make it green. Left is extracted. So what we are going to do next is we want to, so like, the naming convention should be should start with the character name, and the next part should be the big part name. So we want to put this arm left into this second section of the name attribute. So what I'm going to do is just go to the attribute create node. And change the class type to primitive and the change type to string. If you want to, you can go with, you can just manually type the name you want to use, like arm left. And now we have the, we need to change the attribute name to maybe large path name, I guess. Yeah, we have the character name and also large path name, and the large path name is set to arm left. But if we have like for example, 10 big parts, it will take time to manually type the string, each by each. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the name of the node, which is connected to this attribute create node. So I'm going to find the node name of this guy. So what you can do is you can use the Bex function called the op input. Yeah, by doing this, you can pick up this is going to return the name of the node connected to the given input. So I'm just going to pick up this node, maybe 0. Yeah, by doing this, you can pick up the name. You can pick up the node name which is connected to this node. Like if you like duplicate this and then change the name of this guy, like for example test, yeah, the large path name is going to be changed like this. Okay, next what I'm going to do is give a middle path name. Yeah, so now we have character name and large piece name, and so next we want to have the middle path name. This will be like, like not big parts, not like smaller parts based on connectivity. It will be like hand, like forearm and upper arm and shoulder. So okay. But if you do that operation on this network, it would be very messy. So I'm just going to create the subnetwork for it. Network, and then name small pieces, maybe. Okay, let's go inside. And what we're going to do next is, as I said, we're going to extract like hand, like forearm and upper arm and shoulder. In this case, I guess we can use this naming attribute for selection, and we can use this number for your selection. So to do this, you just need to hit enter on your keyboard, and not hit enter, sorry. You need to hit this button, and you just need to select each pieces manually. But if you turn on this button, you will be able to select pieces based on the attribute. So turn on this guy, and then type at name now you can select pieces based on the name attribute. So like if you want to extract hand, just select something like this and then hit delete or type split. Cool. Then we can extract middle pieces based on the naming attribute, and we need to do same kind of operation for all mid pieces, like forearm, upper arm, and shoulders. Okay, here I got a result of splitting middle parts pieces. This first node is splitting hand, and then second splitting node is splitting the forearm, and then this one is for upper arm, and then final result, the second output with this split will be the shoulder. Cool. So what we are going to do next is we are going to give middle parts name based on this split. So we are going to do like something similar that we did here. We're going to create null node for each and then create attribute based on the node name. So yeah, for the hand, we just need to create hand null node, and then we just need to create the attribute create node and set this string to op input, and also set the attribute name to middle part name. By doing this, you will be able to get something like this. Yeah, we got the character name, we got large parts name, and also we got new attribute called middle parts name, and it's set to hand. Okay, let's do same kind of operation for like all of those other 4 middle parts pieces. Okay, now we got a middle parts name attribute for everything. Then yeah, we the middle parts name set to middle parts name attribute set to hand for the hand, forearm for the forearm, and then upper arm for the upper arm, and then shoulder. And what we're going to do next is now we have character name attribute and then large parts name attribute, middle parts name attribute, and we also need the small parts attribute. This will be like the smallest like kind of unit when you're doing your transform animation. So, like it doesn't necessarily have to be like based on connectivity, but it need to be like based on your idea or like how you want to move your parts. Like if you just create like small parts attribute, like if you just create your small parts attribute, like for example, okay, make those pieces as 01 and make those pieces as 02, you can move them together in your animation. But if you want to move these parts and these parts in different way, you need to give them like different name. So like for small parts attribute, this guy need to be like 01, for example, and then this guy need to be 02, for example. And if you want to move your finger, like this need to be like other attribute, and this need to be other attribute. But you don't have to like create this attribute based on connectivity, because there will be like small like screw or small like spring that you don't have to move each by each. Yeah, but this process will be really manual. This is really hard to be done in procedural way, so maybe it might take time, but we have to do this. So we'll just create name node. This is where you are creating small parts attribute. So let's name this attribute as small parts name, and you need to select your parts based on your idea. Yeah, and also this case you can select your parts based on the naming attribute that already exists. So maybe this guy and this guy should move together. So select those two and hit enter. And maybe name this guy as like, I don't know, parts A something. And if you want to check the result, we can just create the color node and like apply the random color based on your attribute, random from attribute, and pick up the small parts name. Then you can see like which parts already has the attribute. Sorry, then you can see the which parts has already attribute and which parts doesn't have it. Maybe next, for example, pick up this guy and then name it this as like part B something. Then you can see like those two parts have like the small parts attribute and the other parts doesn't have it. Okay, cool. I finished creating naming for all pieces. So let's see how it looks like. Let's create color node and see the result. Yeah, I selected pieces based on my idea of how I want to move I want to move my robot. So I selected this piece and this circle together, and also for the fingers, I selected based on its function. So you don't have to like separate all pieces based on connectivity, but you need to select the pieces based on the function. So I want to move these parts together, and I want to move these parts together. I want to move these parts together, and and we need to do the same kind of operation for all your middle pass pieces here. If you look at the small parts name attribute from your the Geometry spreadsheet, and you'll be able to see how I created the naming. Yeah, it has like root hand. I always like set this root naming for the geometry, which will be like kind of parents of the empty pieces. So root hand is this this orange parts, and this will be like kind of parents of empty pieces. So I just named this guy as root, and then other stuff, the fingers, I named its fingers based on its function. So like middle finger and little finger and index finger. Sorry. index finger. And I named like these parts as A, this middle part as B, and this part as C. So like, for example, this guy, index finger A, index finger B, index finger C, so that it makes sense. But other parts, I just named as like parts A, parts B, parts C. Those are like just small parts that I'm going to move in when I'm doing transform animation. So maybe this pink part is like parts A, and then this yellow part is parts B, and then this blue part is parts C or something like that. As long as it makes sense for you, it should be fine. Okay, let's do same kind of operation for all other middle parts. Okay, I've done everything for other middle parts, and for forearm, we have we have set middle parts name as forearm, and then for smaller parts name, it has the root geometry, which will be like kind of parent for everything. Maybe this yellow guy, the biggest one, is the root small parts, and then other stuff is like parts A, B, C, D, like that. Just small parts based on my idea of how I want to move them. And the same thing for upper arm. Here we have root geometry, and also we have parts A, parts B. Maybe root geometry is this purple one, which will be paired for other two. The shoulder is the same thing. We have parts A, parts B, parts C, and we have root shoulder. Okay, now everything is ready. we have character name and the big parts name and middle parts name and also small parts name, and everything is ready for reading. But we need to combine them together as one name attribute. But the naming of small parts is done. So let's back to our this geometry network. Let's go out of this sum network. So merge these four together and then connect to output. Okay, let's replace this name attribute with the new one based on the attribute that you created. So just create the attribute wrangler node and change run over type to primitives. And start name equal the string name attribute equals character name plus large path name plus middle path name plus small path name. And we want to separate each star with the underscore. So it will be something like this is a name and then character name plus underscore, large part name underscore, and then part name underscore, and small part name, and the result is riders arm left, hand, right hand. Like that. Based on your attribute. And maybe add shape just to make things clear. So plus underscore shape. Okay, now we created a naming attribute based on your parts attribute. But additionally, I want to create one more thing. It's gonna be because we are doing this operation on the load left arm, and sometimes we feel like we want to copy everything on the other side, on the right arm, like your skeleton, your geometric data, your string rate, blah blah blah. So I'm going to add the left or right information somewhere around here. Okay, what I'm gonna do is select this order menu and then add it under run over here and accept. Then we have label here and set these to channels. And we are going to add this left label, right label, the center label, so that we can change the selection later. Left, right, and also C for center. C will be used for the model that you don't have to copy stuff. Accept. Then we can pick up left or R or center. So we are going to use this guy as we're going to add this guy on your naming attribute. Okay, then we are going to pick up this. Oh, sorry, we need to set the label first. So over here and set label to maybe side. And we are going to pick up the information on here. So set string. The string side goal channel style side. Then we are going to add this title information between middle parts name and small parts name. So create another underscore here. Underscore and then add the side. Then it should work. Cool. Now we're gonna right left the center information here. if you switch this guy to R, it's gonna be right, and if you switch this to C, it's gonna be center. But what you are doing is you are doing operation on the robot left arm, so just set this as left. Cool. Now the naming attribute for the arm left is ready, and we need to do the same operation on all large pieces, large parts. Okay, back to here. Next we are going to create name attribute for the right arm. So just split the right arm based on material path attribute, and then we are going to do something same kind of thing like this. Let's copy this guy and then this null mode as right. And if you look at the geometry spreadsheet, you should have the large parts name attribute as set to right. Cool. And next we are going to create middle parts and small parts name. But doing like same kind of operation like this will take time. So what we are going to do is we are going to copy the attribute from left side and copy it onto the right arm. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create transfer attribute node. Sorry, the transfer attribute node. And I'm going to transfer the attribute from the left arm onto right arm. And also you need to make sure to multiply negative value on the scale for the left arm, because this attribute transfer will be done based on the position of the point. So create transform node, and then apply negative value on the x-axis like this, and then attribute transfer. And what attribute? What attribute we want is because we already have large parts attribute name, so we just want to get the middle parts name and small parts name. So, not punch, the printing. Pick up the middle parts name and also small parts name. Cool. Okay, let's see how it looks like if you create color and then random color based on the small parts name. Yeah, you can see how you have the small parts attribute. So like it's working. And then, after that, you just need to, copy this attribute wrangler. And then you just need to switch this side to right. And you should be able to have good naming convention on the right as well. Thanks.